Thank you all for coming. Hi to Ed and Sarah and Tanya, who are joining us remotely. We are very happy to share this moment with all of you. This is a culmination of more than 2 years in the making, this beautiful light. So thank you guys all for being here. And I wanted to thank the donors, some of who are here, for their generosity in helping to bring the bench to life, which includes this beautiful Lotus lamp, as well as hundreds of individuals who have participated in the years in all the ways that people have. Many of their names are on the dedication and information plaque, which is inside the library. We had a temporary paper one, which has now been replaced by a really beautiful one that is permanent. So it's inside the library front door, so you can have a chance to check that one out. We are grateful to the City of Homer and the library, of course, for the beautiful place for this bench. So I would like to especially acknowledge Brad for his vision of this lamp from the very beginning. He wanted a lamp. And and Art, who brought his own vision and creativity. So between the two of them, and then Art creating and building the lamp itself and installing it. So these guys will share. And then I'm just going to read a little poem that I found. Okay, this poem is called Holding the Light by Stuart Kestenbaum. Gather up whatever is glittering in the gutter, whatever has tumbled in the waves or fallen in flames out of the sky. For it's not only our hearts that are broken, but the heart of the world as well. Stitch it back together. Make a place where the day speaks to the night and the earth speaks to the sky. Whether we created God or God created us, it all comes down to this. In our imperfect world, we are meant to repair and stitch together what beauty there is. Stitch it with compassion and wire. See how everything we have made gathers the light inside itself and overflows. A blessing. Hey, cue the light. Cue the light.
You may not be able to see much here. Very well. It's pretty subtle right now. We'll get some pictures at nighttime.
Oh, Ed and Sarah, did you guys want to say something?
Not really. Just thank you, everybody, again. Once again, thank you all for all you do. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is really a grand moment. I think, Art did a beautiful job on the lamp. I'm glad we have a south-facing exposure because the sun will illuminate it as well as the bulb, during the day. To me, it's okay to have it subtle during the day, but at night, then of course, it'll be much more visible. But the symbol of hope that it brings, we really tried to bring some light to this, terrible issue of the missing and murdered women and children, and I think we've done a very good job of raising the issue, and now we've got this beautiful bench to continue to raise the issue, and the light is all part of that, trying to bring light to this issue. And so again, thank you all very, very much for the incredible amount of work that you have done on this. It's really terrific.
Yeah, and all the continued support. We still feel it all.
Okay. I made this whole thing as a model to start with to see if it would work. And as soon as I made the model, and Sarah and I had talked about this a long time. And I always say, this is Sarah's bench, it's her idea. But I came up with the idea of having two groups trying to reach each other. And I had to find out if I could wrap that around the corner and make it work. So I built a model. And as soon as I had the model up, imagine you try to paint a picture and you put all the subjects of interest on the edges. And in the middle was nothing but straight lines. Like that's a complete, that's throwing everything out about design. So first of all, the piece is aching for a centerpiece to hold it together. And before it was taken out, before the light was in there was something disturbing about it. And I also made the slats go sideways, so there was more connection rather than vertical fencing between the two. So you have a tension between people reaching for each other, but not getting there. But so design wise, have to do something about the middle. So a circle is always good. You'd start with a circle anywhere. So I put a circle up, stayed there for a long time. So when I built the full scale model, which we made a plywood mock-up of the whole bench, and we painted that so we could see if it worked. And when we had it out there one time, Sarah and Ed were coming over to test sitting. We also mocked up the bench so we knew it was comfortable. Sarah and Ed came over to prove that. And before they got there, I took a little LED and I made a cardboard stone lamp with a flame in it. And I put that right in front of this. And everybody came over and universally they loved it. Look great. But what is it? You know, what is it? And I thought, okay, lamp, these seal oil lamps we have here. And when I started thinking about that flame, I thought the one thing we're not showing here is hope. We've got despair, loss, grief, fear, anger. We have everything, but we have no hope. And part of this phenomenon is that people who don't know where the people are still have hope. So I saw the flame as a representation of that. But the lamp idea went out, and this is when we said, how about another flower? Now what we have here, you look at this, lilies, forget-me-nots, and the lotus. And those are representational of life, death, and remembrance. Covers the whole thing. And a lotus blossom is almost a universal symbol for life. All of life, everything, even the whole cosmos. So then I think we move more away from hope, although you can still interpret that way if you want to this bench encompasses the whole thing, you know, as a concept of life on earth, as a human being, including the incredibly shocking fact that there are people who take pleasure in hurting, harming, and killing others. It's a fact of life on the earth. So this bench is addressing all of that with a focus on this particular thing. Now, I designed a bronze lotus flower, which Art made and looked great. But when you put it up there, it looked like a hazard. Looked like a kid hazard. Sure, it would have been. Had sharp ends. So then we all agreed that's not a good idea. So then, Art, why don't you take it from here? Because then Art came up with an idea. And it's his idea and his execution. So
we already had the bronze rings and the portal. And so my idea was to put that lotus in there, sandwiched in the thickness of that bench. And so I did it. It's tempered glass, 2 layers. And I managed to get all that in, and the wiring and the little bulb all within that inch or so of space.
is it etched on glass? How is it?
The glass is etched.
Yeah.
It's, you know, you can get it down at the hobby shop. Be careful with it.
But there's a 12-volt LED,
Right.
which is wired up to the library. It draws almost no current at all and can be on 24/7. I make LED art pieces, and I've got a jellyfish on my front porch that's about 15 years old and has never even dimmed.
Right.
So these bulbs last a very long time, and it can be replaced, right?
Yeah, I've made it so it can be taken apart, with a little effort. It's not real easy to take apart. And so if we give them 4 or 5 extra bulbs, that ought
Yeah.
to last a century or so.
We probably won't be around long enough to have to change it.
Right.
You
but
know,
we'll leave them.
it'll last longer than we will
Yeah,
probably.
well, I'm gonna leave a message
Yeah.
and
How to change the bulb.
yeah, in 45.
Okay.
Thank you guys for your incredible vision and your work. We'll sit here.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, I feel really honored to be able to say something. My name is Taylor O'Donnell Bacher. Steffi and I were friends when we were kids, and I just want to. We talked a lot about the light today, about the different symbolisms that it has. It has the hope, you know, hoping for finding your lost ones, your loved ones, hoping for resolution, and then also, you know, the light that you're shedding light, that awareness of bringing awareness to situations. You know, once there's no hope that you'll find that you'll be reunited, what can you do with those feelings, right? And you can turn that into awareness. But recently I've been thinking about the light in another light, which is the resilience and faith. So, you know, many of us were born into situations where we were able to, like, into good lives, right? Where we had families that cared for us. We're born into the United States, which is a, you know, pretty great place to live in many ways. We live here in this community, which in so many ways feels like a, you know, a safe bubble that insulates us from many of the things that are tough in the world. And we know that that can also be broken, and that's not the end of the story. For us, we, you know, push through, we find, and I can see the light being that piece where, yes, like unimaginable things are part of the world and have touched us and have been part of our worlds and our lives. But as we go forward, when we can also start to see beauty in the increasing light, in the spring, or see beauty in nature, or see beauty in the potential for change, and the betterment of the world around us, that piece of resilience and that piece of faith that there is good in the world, despite having felt such deep sorrow, is what I'm connecting to the light with today. So thank you all.
Hello, Ed and Sarah. I hope you can hear me. Christina is passing out a prayer written by Reverend Judith Lathine. And when we read this prayer, the part that you will read is the underlined part. So it's a call and response. I wish we had one that we could share online with you, but we can send you one. A remembrance and blessing of our beloved Duffy Murnane and all who are lost or missing. As we pause to rest in this sacred place,
We remember you.
as we bathe in the light of this sacred lamp,
We remember you.
your gentleness is a part of us and our breath is a part of you. And as long as we live, you too shall live.
As we remember you.
As we gaze into the eyes of the most vulnerable among us,
We remember you.
as we reach out in peace to those who need care,
We remember you.
your kindness is a part of us, and our compassion is a part of you. And as long as we live, you too shall live.
As we remember you.
May the blessing of Almighty God and all that is good and kind and gentle continue to fill this place as we remember Duffy and all who are lost or missing. And as her life was so richly blessed, may we dedicate our lives to be a blessing for others.
As we remember Duffy.
Amen.
Anybody else feel compelled to share?
Miss you guys. You're always here. We love you.
I guess we're being, okay. Bye. Bye bye. Thank you, everybody. Everything was beautiful.
Thank you all for coming.
We're running out of Zoom time.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Wish we were there.
Bye, Ed and Sarah. We're gonna.
Bye, Christina.